they can heal. Go to PikeCountyFloodRelief.org right now to make your donation. Every dollar helps. Every act of kindness counts. Together, we can heal the heart of these communities. Pike County Flood Relief. In their darkest hour, your light can make all the difference.
God deliver us.
Netflix buffering, YouTube spinning, devices not connecting, Zoom calls dropping. Ugh, it's frustrating when you struggle to stay connected. You shouldn't have to worry about your internet in Clinton. It should just work. Well, let's end your frustration. Get internet at the speed of light from Connexus. With incredible residential speeds up to 5 gig, Connexus offers reliable, unlimited internet in Clinton at unbeatable prices with no contracts and no installation fees. Fall in love with your internet again with Connexus. Visit CONXXUS.com. Fiber not available everywhere. Terms and conditions apply.
Serve Pro of Piatt DeWitt counties for fire and water restoration, reconstruction, and now duct cleaning to keep your air healthy. Find out how they can help you by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Netflix buffering, YouTube spinning, devices not connecting, Zoom calls dropping. Ugh, it's frustrating. Let's end your frustration by signing up for fiber internet in Clinton. Click the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. In studio with me this morning, Taylor Baxter, City Manager for the City of Farmer City. Good morning, Taylor.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I am well. Good to see you again, and thanks for making the ominous drive over here. Man alive, it sounds like it's nasty out there.
It's disgusting. Yeah, it's awful. We were talking before, just power outages everywhere, lightning. It's gross. Yeah,
gross.
Yeah,
gross. Nice. Well, that's going to be a lot of fun to venture out into later this morning. It does sound like an end is in sight.
No. So luckily, this is perfect timing because I have a meeting actually in Clinton with DeWitt County. So this
cool.
is a 2-for-1 special. So
nice.
Yeah,
awesome.
It was easy.
Well, hey, how is Farmer City these days?
Farmer City's doing well. We talk about there's always something going on in little old Farmer City. There's a lot of things happening. So we had a council meeting last night. It had some pretty good topics that we talked about. We had some public input, just your typical meeting, but there's some good things that came from it.
So how long does a Farmer City council meeting last?
Really just depends.
Okay.
If there's a pretty controversial topic, just like in any town, you can have a pretty wide support on a topic or not support on a topic, and they certainly want to voice their opinions, which they have every right to do. So I would say half hour-ish, somewhere in there.
So it's not the Clinton, 15-minuters.
Yeah, we try to... there's conversations that our council members have at the table, which is good, as they should. So, and again, it really just depends.
Okay.
We had some items on there that needed some more in-depth conversations, and
like what?
So we can kind of get into it if you're ready for it.
Yeah, let's
Sure.
dive into it.
One of the things that we were talking about last night at a council meeting, and I've kind of mentioned it before, is the city of Farmer City has taken over the zoning ordinance from the county. So in the past, DeWitt County would be in charge of basically all the zoning in Farmer City. And what the city decided to do when Sue was still there is they were forming their own zoning ordinance. And one of the things that we've encountered is, some things got missed here and there, and that's going to happen as you're starting from scratch. There's certainly areas to improve. So the council looked at last night the zoning code ordinance is establishing a zoning board. And typically you look at cities that are a little bit larger, you have a planning commission and then you have a zoning board of appeals. Well, with our community and a lot of smaller communities, it's hard to come up with that many volunteers to serve. Luckily, we do have 7 members, but we've did some research. Our attorney, Joe Chamley, did some research. Illinois state statute says that there's nothing that prohibits combining those 2 boards into one. So they still have the authority of a planning commission and a zoning board, but just make it into one authority.
Oh, wow.
So a little bit unique situation. Like I said, I've dealt with, in Clinton, we had planning commission, zoning board, but you have a 7-member board and a 5-member board. You get 12 people to volunteer their time for no pay. It is not easy. So luckily we had great interest. We had 7 people that were interested in this board, and so part of it was language cleanup in the ordinance, but then also appointing those members to the zoning board last night too.
Got it. Yeah, and it sounds like they've got a lot to take up here in the days ahead or months ahead.
Yeah, and it's good because I've already had interest in people that are looking to build. I've had one interested party that owns a property in the business district, but he wants to put a house on there. Now, according to our zoning code, is that necessarily allowed? No. So that's where it would go to the zoning board of appeals typically, and they would make a recommendation and say, okay, this isn't your typical scenario, but okay, there's residential all around this. It was zone business way before all of this stuff happened. Kind of, yeah, it makes sense for the area, so let's look at it. So those are the sorts of things, a lot of variances, like I just mentioned, setbacks, whether they want to build on their property line, all those sorts of things would go to this board too. There's some things in-house that we can just approve that are your standard, I'm going to put a garage up, it meets the setbacks, meets the height requirements, all those sorts of things, we're good. But yeah, we're already starting to get interest in we've had some pretty good conversations with people, and this is just that next step to kind of get us moving forward.
So it sounds like that transition of taking over your zoning from the county has gone pretty well then.
It has, and I'm very thankful for my Clinton experience because that was my job was zoning. So I had to learn it from scratch, and I'm taking a lot of what I learned from Clinton over to Farmer City because it's brand new for Farmer City, and I don't know everything about zoning, but I got a pretty good handle on it where we're kind of guiding this thing together with council and trying to make it the best possible way for Farmer City.
All right, very good. So anything along those lines, Jason or otherwise?
No, not really. Still working on projects that are kind of hanging out there from Sue's departure that she was working on.
Okay.
And, we were talking about it before. There's a lot going on for Farmer City. Just random projects here and there, street projects. We have some sidewalk things that are hanging out there, some sewer upgrades, and we talked about that last night too. So.
Okay. Taylor Baxter, city manager for the city of Farmer City, our guest in the studio this morning. It's March, so let's dive into the pool a little bit. I venture a guess planning is...
Did you mean to say that? Dive into it?
No, thank you though. Pun intended. Everyone knows I love a good pun on this show. Nice.
I had to.
I love that. I do the what's on your radar with the weather guy. So nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Sorry,
thank you for picking up on that.
Welcome.
Well done, sir.
You're welcome.
Anyways, where were we?
Pool.
Yeah, pool. What's going on with the pool?
Yeah, there's been some struggles with the pool that obviously I heard about when I was in Clinton. It's a very popular pool for our area and a very good recreational outlet for the residents and visitors that come to Farmer City, and had some issues with pumps and pool leaks and all sorts of things last year. So the pump has been mitigated. That part's been fixed. There's still a little bit of work left as far as patching the pool and making sure that when we do fill it up, the water stays in there. So I saw some chatter on Facebook because we put a recruitment out for our lifeguard position, and there was questions, hey, is the pool going to open this year? Yes, every intention of opening the pool and having it stay open the entire year. So there's some contracting work that still needs to be done within the next couple of weeks, but we're going to fill it early, and we are going to make sure everything is running correctly because, part of these, these lifeguards, they depend, that's going to be their summertime job. And what happened last year, and to nobody's fault, it's just the nature of the beast of a pool is things happen, and, these kids don't have an income anymore, and they were relying on that, and then it's too late to go get other summer jobs. So it really affects the community and people that love the pool, but also, the kids that are working for us too. You feel bad for them as well. So we're doing something cool though. We're actually partnering with the Clinton YMCA.
Oh, okay.
I've been talking with Rennie, and they are going to hold a lifeguard certification course for us. And so we're going to bring over our Farmer City folks, and we're going to come over here for a couple days during spring break. And Rennie has been great. He's got a good aquatic staff that he's got just hired. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it. And again, just that partnership between Farmer City and Clinton, it's a good thing.
Well, wasn't management an issue, like someone to manage the pool during the summer? Wasn't that an issue last year?
Yeah, we had, so 2 years ago, Clinton Y actually managed the pool for us. And just with staff turnover, things happen again, nobody's fault. The Y just wasn't in a position to help us out with that last year. Totally understandable. So we hired internally, and it was a shortened season, and we made do with what we could. So
what are you doing this year then along those lines?
Yeah, so we've hired a person to run our pool. Megan Clavey is her name. She's from Champaign, has really good experience with aquatics and management. So really looking forward to her being a part of our Farmer City team. So she'll be in charge of the day-to-day operations of the pool, scheduling, that sort of thing. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
So it sounds like you're trying to get ahead of the game before the season gets here.
Trying to, yeah, that's the goal. Because what we don't want, and it seems obvious, but we don't want to open it up and all of a sudden we have all these problems again. So we're trying to be proactive with things, and the contractors that we have working on things with us, they've been very responsive, and so fingers crossed we're gonna have a good year.
Is there a way to get an assessment on the pool, the physical pool, before you open it, to say, hey, this could be an issue when you open it up, there's this you need to work on? Is there anything you can do there?
Yeah, and that was part of what happened last year was, okay, we've identified an issue, and they really did. We have engineers and all sorts of design teams that were working on this, and pools it's not just a Farmer City issue. This is happening all over Central Illinois. I know over in my Pontiac days, Chenoa had an outdoor pool, and they had to close early because of equipment malfunctions. And it's just the nature of the beast of an outdoor pool. They don't make money, but it is such an important piece of the community that the city decides, yeah, this is important enough, we're going to subsidize it. So yeah, part of that is just what happened last year. We had it emptied. Looking forward to spring now. These are the things we still got to fix.
All right. Yeah. Do you have an opening date or anything like that?
The goal is always, it's Memorial Day to Labor Day. That's kind of the pool outdoor season for aquatics. So around that date, Memorial Day weekend.
All right. Very good. Well, we look forward to it. Hopefully smooth sailing this year. Yeah. Another pun.
I don't know if that was... I kind of smiled. I kind of smirked.
I didn't know if that was a good one or not. I mean, really sail on a pool, but either way, very nice. Well, Taylor, I'll tell you what. I look at the clock rather than start diving into something else and having to cut it off midstream. Let's take a break here. How do folks learn about all things Farmer City?
A couple different ways. You can go to our website, farmercity.org, cityoffarmercity.org, excuse me, and then we also have our Facebook page as well. Those are really where we post our main items. If you're a Farmer City resident, we do have an alert system on our website too that you can sign up for, and you get text verifications through that, and text messages, I should say. So
sounds good.
A couple different ways.
Taylor Baxter, City Manager for the City of Farmer City, my guest in studio. More to come with Taylor on the morning show.
WHOW.
Now.com.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and wheat all lower. March corn down 9, 431 1/4. May corn down 9 3/4, 446 1/2. New crop December 445 down 6 1/4. March beans down 11 3/4, 986 1/2. May beans down 17 1/2, 994. And new crop November $10 even down 18 3/4. May Chicago wheat 534 down 13 3/4. July wheat down 12 1/2, 548 3/4. March bean meal 285.70 down 440. March bean oil 42.68 down 22 cents. March feeders in the livestock market 270.45 down 357. April live cattle 190.92 down $1.32. April lean hogs 81.90 down $1.80. Energy market April crude oil 67.19 down $1.19. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Good morning. I'm Helen McGalassi, and I'm running for mayor of Clinton. Improvement of the city's infrastructure is one of my priorities as mayor. This includes proactive and strategic planning. The design and construction of a new water tower, public safety facility, and city hall will ensure vital services for our community are supported and there when we need them. They're an investment in our future. Clinton is a great city, and when we all work together, we can move Clinton forward together.
Paid for by Michelasi for Mayor.
SIU Family Medicine wants the best health for you and your family. Be a champion. Protect your loved ones. The SIU Center for Family Medicine of Lincoln is accepting new patients. Click their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com to schedule your appointment.
Hi, I'm Brett with Central Cremation Center, and we proudly serve all of Central Illinois. We offer the most affordable and convenient arrangements in the area with plans starting at just $795. Many of our plans are available by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Taylor Baxter, city manager for the city of Farmer City, our guest in studio for this morning. I want to go back. I felt like there were some things out of the council meeting last night, Taylor, we didn't get to. What else happened on Monday?
Yeah, a couple of things really worth noting. Some budget projects that we've been looking at, some capital improvement things, and that has to do with our water treatment plant and our wastewater treatment plant. The wastewater side, it's an older plant. There's things that have been left from the 1950s that have still not been updated. There's portions that have been updated since the 1980s. So along with that, again, this is not just a Farmer City issue. This is everywhere. It's just as these things get older and older, they're going to start breaking down. So we had a little bit of that last night, working with a contractor. G.A. Rich is who we use to do a lot of our bigger type projects that our city staff can't handle internally. Just the type of equipment is more specialized and those sorts of things. So
do you think you left the water stuff behind when you went to Farmer City from Clinton?
No, I knew there was going to be, because I even gained one. I gained electric. We have a whole electric department, which I don't think people realize. There's about 50, I think, municipalities in Illinois that have their own electricity utility, and it's.
How does that work?
It is awesome. So we have our entire electric plant. We have 5 massive generators. Seth, I walked into this place and my jaw just dropped because it is huge. So we have we're part of the Illinois. The EMA, Electrical Municipal Agency Association, and there's a group of us that have a kind of just like you'd be with Ameren or ComEd, that sort of thing, where we have a group of we have electricity. It gets dispersed out, and then if we need to, and there's people pulling for certain other things in different municipalities, we're able to fire up our generators and generate electricity. So it's kind of a shared concept, but it's pretty unique. And I've heard stories where everybody else, if you look around Bloomington Normal, if there's a bad tornado or something, Farmer City is kind of like this beacon because we're able to control. You can put on our own generators, and it's just like the Batman signal. You look up in the air. What's that over there? Oh, it's Farmer City.
Farmer City's lit up.
They're good to go. So it's kind of unique. So yeah, there's all sorts of things and challenges with that as well.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Maybe a silly question: who trains the city manager when the former city manager has left?
That is where we have. I mean, you don't learn this stuff in a textbook. You got to just experience it. So we have great department leadership in really every department that we have in the city. Okay. And Mark Gardner is his name, and he's been at the city of Farmer City for a very long time. And he knows the ins and outs of all of the equipment, the plant, what needs to be done. Very lucky to have seasoned leadership in that department because it could go south if you don't have good leadership there. So
I see.
Kind of learning as I go too.
Yeah.
But that's really where I rely on the expertise of our department heads. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we're really taking a lot of side roads here. Back to the city council meeting.
One thing that I want to mention is we had another GA Rich project, and that was with with our water treatment plant. And this is a pretty big number that was on the agenda, $212,977. And this one has a local impact, but also impact from the federal government and the tariffs, which I think is kind of unique. This one is a project that is a EPA federal grant, so we are getting reimbursed 70% for this project. Part of it is we're not going to be able to expel that money until next year's budget, which is May. But the unique part of this, there's such a long lead time that if we were to wait until May to finally approve this, the tariffs that are coming from Canada and Mexico, part of this project, there's pieces and components of it coming from Canada. So there's going to be a tariff associated with those materials. So what we decided to do is kind of make a decision is, okay, let's go ahead and order it now. We've been working with GA Rich on, the combination of timing of in between budgets. They understand where we're at, but it's really a kind of a local impact to what's happened federally. It's kind of a unique situation. So
what's the project?
It has to do with separation, so it's the filter media is what they call it, and it's basically just the cleaning of the water and separating the solids and all sorts of things there, chemicals. So very important, vital piece of the water cleaning process to make sure that it's drinkable for the community.
Okay, so where does Farmer City get its water from?
So the Muhammad Aquifer, similar to Clinton here. This is it's a massive aquifer, and I've learned a lot about the Muhammad Aquifer. When I was in Clinton, we had a group come and speak about that and just the different projects that could potentially impact the Muhammad Aquifer. And if there's leaks into that, it's basically just this underground river of water that is endless. It's a lot. So a lot of communities in Central Illinois rely on that Muhammad Aquifer.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And so this project just filters that water, basically.
Yeah. Yep. It's another step in the process to make it drinkable.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there a lot to come in terms of your water system and upgrades and all those things in the next few years?
Yeah, it's similar to our wastewater plant. There's things that are aging, and it really gets interesting because you have physical features at the plant, but then also all of these underground infrastructure as well, where this kind of leads into our budget conversation is where can we look at, okay, we have a bad sewer, we have a bad water, but then also the road is bad, where we can kind of coordinate between and make it a 3-for-1 deal. So it's older infrastructure, and that over time breaks down.
Trying to update it. Yep, keep it updated. Sure.
Yep,
sure.
For sure.
Well, Taylor, I look at the clock, still a few minutes. In terms of projects coming up in Farmer City, anything on the radar?
Yeah, budget talk has been a big portion of what's been on my mind the last couple of weeks. Again, I mentioned projects that are still ongoing, things that are coming. We're certainly looking at different road projects. We're looking at street and maintenance, that sort of thing, with water and sewer. And so really it's just I still need to meet with the council. I about broke the desk. Sorry about that. We still need to have a budget workshop with the council, get their vision on where we want to go. I'm hopefully to have that by the middle of March, have those conversations with them. But staff has done a great job. I'm kind of dancing around your question because nothing's really finalized, but there's always going to be infrastructure projects that are going to be done. It's just where are those at?
Gotcha. Minute and a half. What did I miss with you this morning?
I don't think a whole lot. I'm still working with Kurt Homan at DCDC. There's a couple of projects in Farmer City that he's assisting us with. Development over on I-74 is still going on.
Anything new there?
There's a potential interested party. Can't go too far into it, but it is very promising, and we're hopeful that the Tabling Development Company out of Muhammad, who owns 10 acres out there, hopefully we're going to get something moving there. So it's very promising for sure.
Gotcha. Well, is there, thinking about next city council meeting, when is the next city council meeting?
So if we have items, it'll be the 17th.
You're going to make people come out on St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, I might need to revisit that. I don't know. Wear your green or you got pinched or something.
Yeah, right. Anyways, anything coming up on that one?
Besides budget, it might just be that, where we just have an open and honest conversation. Here where we're at. This is what we're thinking. So We might have it on the 17th. I'm almost positive we will. That's kind of what we're looking at.
Very good. Well, again, where do folks go to learn about all things Farmer City, Taylor?
Yeah, our website, cityoffarmercity.org, our Facebook page, City of Farmer City. Those are our main ones.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Very good. Taylor Baxter, City Manager for the City of Farmer City, our guest in studio. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance.
WHOW.
The Big 1520 WHOW